Welcome to What's Cooking on a Thursday. It's been a crazy busy day here today. For those of you that are not part of our Tupperware team, today was the first day of our national conference, and it's always in our home office area in Orlando, Florida. And because of COVID, it was a virtual event. Started today, runs for a couple more days. So, because of the time zone difference, we've been up early and been doing Tupperware all day. But I wanted to come to you tonight because one of my favorite products is featured right now, and I love this, and I think it's such a great product to save people a lot of time. And with school starting, I know many of you are going back to school, and some of you are going to be homeschooling. To me, this is one of those must-have products that you have to have in the kitchen because you know what? They're busy, and this way you can put a real meal on the table really quickly, and it's almost like a gourmet meal, so you can kind of fool the whole family. So we're going to make bacon wrapped Dijon pork tenderloin with cranberry sauce. Like, that's something you would think you would get in some like five-star restaurant, right? So, but we're going to make it, and it's only going to take 20 minutes in our pressure cooker. So I want to reach over here and I want to grab my screen a little bit because I want to crank things down. I'll cut my head off, but that's okay. I want you to see the most important star of the show, and that is the pressure cooker. So what's cool about the pressure cooker is it is one pot cooking. And so I love that because you can just throw everything in and you're ready to go. But I want to just share with you a couple of the features because this is not just like your mama's pressure cooker. It's not going to blow up on you. And it goes in a microwave, for heaven's sakes. So it's like a cross between a slow cooker and a pressure cooker. So anything that you can make in a slow cooker, you can make in this, but in a fraction of the time. And I know that Instapots are a really big thing right now, but to be honest, I've heard some horror stories about those blowing up, and this is so easy to clean. Everything just goes in the dishwasher. So that's why I love this. So first of all, it's got a silicone ring, and this means that it's going to have a nice tight seal. That's what helps to keep the pressure in the container. If there would be too much pressure in it, then this just literally collapses down into the bowl, and that way the steam can escape, and that's why one of the safety precautions that we have. The top part of this has got a pressure indicator, so that's going to elevate when it's under pressure. Takes about the first 6 minutes in your microwave for that, and it takes about 6 minutes for it to decrease as well, so you don't want to open it until that pressure indicator has gone down. And then this little guy here is a venter. Oh my gosh, it's so cool. Once you put it in and it hits about 7 to 10 minutes in the microwave, you'll actually hear it just like a pressure cooker. It's going to go and it kind of purses its lips. So all the extra little steam is going to be coming right out of that as well. But man, when things are under pressure, they cook fast, and it really tenderizes your meats as well. One of the neat things about this is it does have a fill line. So you always want to make sure that you are going to only put food up to the fill line because of the pressure, you don't want to overfill it. Okay, so let's get down to our recipe. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take our pork tenderloin. Now my pork tenderloin, you're going to laugh because you're going to be like, where the heck does she shop? So my pork tenderloin is small. I'm going to stick this out of the way. Okay, so look how small it is. Isn't that little? And let me tell you why it's so small. It's small because there's just two of us, and I don't want to eat pork tenderloin all week long. So when we go to the grocery store, what I do is I actually take that and cut it in sometimes thirds, depending on about how big that is. So this is the container I keep my Hawaiian salt in because Hawaiian salt is just the best salt. So we need a little bit of salt and pepper on this. So we're kind of flip this over, and then we're going to put some cracked pepper on it. And so, cracked pepper. So we have our Tupperware pepper shakers that we use for every day, but when something calls for cracked pepper, I'll use this little guy right here. All right, so got that all down. And then what we're going to do next is we're going to take a couple of ingredients, and I'm just going to mix them in a little bowl. Now, this little bowl is the one that comes out of the center of our serving center. So for those of you that have that, that's a great big wagon wheel thing. I use this bowl all the time. It's unbelievable. So what we're going to do is we're going to take 2 tablespoons of mustard, and my little container here, this is fancy schmancy mustard. So I'm using this because it is a honey and pineapple mustard, and I thought rather than using like a regular Dijon mustard. I already had this in the refrigerator. I can kind of finish this up. And I thought the pineapple and honey would go well because there's also honey in this recipe too. So we're just going to scoop out everything of that little jar. Okay. And this is a teeny tiny little spatula. It gets down into little nooks and crannies. Everybody needs one of these, right? All right. We've just about got everything out of there that we can get. Our Tupperware silicone spatulas are thebomb.com for sure. They get everything out. Okay, so we've got 2 tablespoons of Dijon mustard. We need a tablespoon of honey. So see, here's that honey coming in. I should have turned this guy upside down because I'm almost out of honey in this container. So we might be here forever waiting for this. I should have had it upside down. In fact, that's what I'm going to do just for a minute. And then we're going to use a little bit of thyme. Now, I didn't have any fresh thyme, so it says to use 3/4 of a teaspoon if you don't have fresh thyme. I actually tried to buy some thyme not too long ago, and they had no thyme. Imagine that. There's no thyme. Okay, that worked to do that. So now we'll squirt a little bit of that in here. Remember, we've already got honey flavored. I got a whole brand new jar of organic honey that I bought on the Big Island, and I was going to crack that open, but I thought, no, I need to finish up this little guy right here. Okay, so we have got honey, mustard, and thyme, and we're just going to mix that all together, and we're going to spread that on our pork tenderloin, okay? Kind of messy, isn't it? I know my hands are going to end up messy, but that's okay. So let me flip this over. I see bunches of people. My computer's so far away, I can't read the names, you guys, so sorry. I think I see Fran's in there. Hey. All right. Now that we've got that all spread all over, what we're going to do is we're going to wrap it in bacon, okay? So we freeze our bacon into individual little servings. So here we go. You're going to wrap this up just like that. So this had 4 strips in it, I think, and that's about all I needed for this recipe. Let me slide these down just a little bit. Yum. Alrighty. And we're going to stick it right in the pressure cooker, okay? Now, next thing that we're going to do is we are going to mix together the rest of our ingredients. So we've got a package of Lipton onion soup mix. I've already got that inside of here. And I'm going to take some cranberry juice. I need, how much is that? Half a cup of cranberry juice. All right, let me grab my cranberry juice right over here. And that will kind of make that all kind of come back to life. All right, so let me stir that all together with that. I'm just going to use the same old spatula because it's all going to have the same meat, right? And then I need a tablespoon of cornstarch, and I also need some whole cranberry. So this is my whole cranberry. Now, I know you're thinking cranberry and that onion soup, but this is the second recipe that I have with pork that called for cranberry and Lipton onion soup mix. Okay, and the last ingredient is we need a little bit of cornstarch just to kind of thicken it up. So we're going to go for a tablespoon of cornstarch. And I don't want too many lumps, so I'm going to be really careful mixing this all together. All right, so I'm just going to spread it like kind of along the side so that I can make a thick paste, because if I don't do that, it's going to get kind of lumpy. So I'll just mix it to the side, and then guess what? this is all done. This is the yummy sauce. Now, how can you go wrong with a wonderful recipe like this, right? All right, so I don't want to waste anything. I'm going to take all that yumminess that I had that was on the cutting board, and I'm just going to run that right off onto the top of this, because that would be terrible to waste that. And then, here we go. I'm going to pour this right on top. Wow. Looks good. And now we're going to put the cover on. Now, when you put the cover on your pressure cooker, there's a little triangle right there, and then there's also a triangle right on the cover. And so you line up that, and you'll notice that it's crooked. The handles don't match, and that's on purpose, because now what you do is you slide it together just like that. So look at that. See, now they're even. And then we're going to put the lock on. So the lock is the last piece of the puzzle. So let's think about all the safety pieces that we have. We have this lock. We have this little pressure valve right here. And we also have the ring in the center. And then there's one more. Let me see if I can tilt this. No, I can't do that. There's a tiny little hole right here, and there's a silicone piece here. So when I close that down, that silicone blocks that hole. Now let me tell you why that's there. I want to lock it all the way. Because if I didn't wait till the pressure indicator went all the way down and I just like tried to yank this open, that would give it a place for the air to go shh. Don't do that. Here's something else you don't want to do, because I've done this before. When this is up and you're like, oh, come on, I want to eat, and it takes like 6 minutes. It's the longest 6 minutes of your life when you're hungry. So don't do one of these numbers and hit it and keep knocking it down, because your food is still cooking when it's in there and it's under pressure. So that's why you don't want to do that, all right? So guess what? This is going to go in the microwave for 20 minutes. Do you believe that? 20 minutes. And it's going to be ready to eat. I'm so excited. So we're just going to have a salad to go along with this, and that's going to be dinner. So that's what's happening at our house tonight. I will take a picture when it comes out, and I'll post it. So thanks, everybody, for joining me for dinner. Bye.